What's good, Commanders family? Brian Cooper Jr. here with Brian Mitchell, Logan Paulson. Fellas, not the result we wanted, but we're here now. Initial thoughts, B-Mitch.
B-Mitch.
Let B-Mitch go first, man.
Listen, I absolutely love this franchise. I love this football team. But I'm not seeing enough. I'm going to be totally honest with you. From coaches to players, we have not played a full football game yet. Last week in a loss, we looked far better than what we look today.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to play 4 quarters of football. We're not playing 4 quarters of football. We're starting off slow. I don't care no more about the, Del Rio defense start off slow. Ron teams, I don't hear that anymore. I need to see football from the beginning to the end. And if you do that and you lose, I will give you all the credit in the world. But what I saw today is not what I want to see as a football team.
Yeah,
I don't want to see them starting so far behind to where, I keep getting people texting me, well, why are they not running the ball? Well, you're down by 20 damn points.
Yeah.
You're not going to run the football. You're throwing the ball. And just because a team gets the ball, they cannot give up touchdowns all the time. You can't do that. As a defense, it's been touted as to be top 5 defense, 6 first rounders, 4 on the front line. Playing far from that. You got to get better.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, B, because I know you've played a lot of football, obviously. Do you think that the loss at Philly had any kind of physical effect on this game? Because I felt like they come out in the first half, they look a little bit physically like kind of lethargic. Is that because of the short week and that really high emotional game? I mean, do you think there's anything to that?
If Chicago had played last Thursday, yes, I'll say yes. Chicago plays Sunday as well.
But what I was going to say is Chicago kind of left that game establishing an offensive identity against Denver, right? So they kind of are carrying some momentum in saying this is who we are now. We can find explosive plays to DJ Moore. We can run with the quarterback. We can run keepers. And it was more of just a kind of an old-fashioned boxing match, our game, which I think was a little bit more fatiguing. And again, I don't want to be making excuses, but that was a thought I had watching the first half of this ball game.
But the thing for me is this. When the game is over, whether you won it or lost it, it's over.
Yeah.
You can't worry about that game anymore. You can't allow it to snowball.
Yeah.
Chicago did get some momentum going.
Yeah.
But you played against a team that's considered a Super Bowl contender.
One of the best in football,
and you
right?
played them all the way to the end, throwing haymakers all the way down to the end. Then you come out here against a team that had 2 sacks in 4 games. Yeah. They got 5 or 6, whatever it was tonight. You played against a team that couldn't really put points up until last week.
Yeah.
And I saw a 4-man front, and I saw a D tackle go that way, another go that way. Hell, I could drive my car through the hole. I didn't even see the offensive lineman block them.
Yeah.
They are sitting here and they go outside. I don't know what it is, but I know I keep hearing people consistently tell me about what the offense is not doing. And I can understand it because you got a guy who came from a team that was putting up so many points. But you do have an offensive line that was questionable from the beginning. You have a quarterback that is young and learning. Yeah. But on the other side, you have 6 first-rounders. And that seems to be going backwards right now.
Yeah.
Listen, man, we can love the team and critique them. I love my mom, I love my dad, I love my brothers and sisters. But you know what I did? When they were wrong, I said it. Yeah. Because when I was wrong, they told me.
I bet you said it.
Right now, our team is nowhere close to what we think it is or expect it to be, and they got to find a way.
Yeah, so something that comes out to me is I do think that game had a physical toll. I think just when you start like that, especially on the defensive line with all that talent that you alluded to, there's something going on. And I think that physical carryover of all those plays, all those physical run stops meant something here. But to your point, they got all these draft picks. I think they got some young guys, like they have the young guy in the back end. I think he had another kind of rough game tonight. I think he's learning. I think he's growing in the same way that Sam Howell's growing. And so, with young football players, there's a learning curve. There's an understanding of what you can and can't do at this level. The ball travels a little bit quicker. The receivers are a little bit better. Led to a couple of explosive plays. And the only way this team was going to beat us tonight is if they were able to generate explosive plays, and they found that to DJ Moore. They found that with off-schedule stuff from the quarterback. And I think, again, kudos to them. They did a great job kind of finding what they do well and identifying it and bringing that 100% tonight. But I can't imagine that the fatigue from that Philadelphia game didn't play a role, at least early, for that defense until they kind of got themselves together.
It might have.
That's what it looked like to me.
It might have, but I'll say this. I played in the era where we practiced in pass twice a day.
And you walked up. What'd you go to school? Uphill both ways, right?
No. We practiced 2 days every day in training camp for a month and a half.
Yeah.
We played football games on Sunday and came back and played on Thursday.
Yeah.
You still got to find a way to pull it out.
I'm with you, man.
But what I'm saying is, Chicago found something tonight.
Yeah.
We have to learn to find something.
Yeah.
You know, when our team doesn't play well, it has to be sometimes we just aren't good enough.
Yeah.
Not that we were too beat up. The NFL is a tough game.
100%.
Okay? I remember 1990. We got to week 4, and I was complaining. And Monty Coleman said, "You're no longer a rookie." 3 games, huh?
Yeah.
So 4th week.
What is it?
Week 5,
it's
right?
3 games into your second year, right? Is that what it is? Or 3 games into your first year?
No. After my 3 games, I am not a rookie anymore.
So it's so funny because like when I was a rookie, Cooley was like, "You're still a rookie till your 3rd game of your second year."
We're talking about getting vested. We were trying to tell me about it, but he was saying no more excuses.
Yeah, right.
Find a way. And what I'm trying to say is, I said at the beginning of the season, by week 5, I will start talking.
Yeah.
This week 5.
Yeah, this is tough.
Next week, I'm pulling off the blinders because I'm watching the same things happen every week. And I don't care what the analytics say, what we hear. I normally talk about what I see.
Yeah.
Okay? And what I saw today was a team that is too talented
I agree, yeah.
to be that subpar.
Yeah.
This team over here in Chicago came in here as one of the worst teams in the league. And they looked like they were one of the best teams in the league. All week on my radio show, JP kept saying, "Oh, yeah, man, that team sucks." I said, "Be careful."
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Just like you tell them, we're saying this is a get-right game.
Yeah.
Hell, they were thinking the same thing about us. They got right. We didn't. We got to find a way to get right.
100%. And I mean, like you said, no excuses, but a lot of growing pains with the young team. If you're just now tuning in, this is Command Center Postgame Live. We are awaiting head coach Ron Rivera's presser. We will take that immediately. As soon as he comes up, I'm going to interrupt the guys, even if I have to get Ron Rivera. But let's keep this conversation going. Now, a lot has been made about our slow starts. B-Mitch, we kind of talked about it before the show. Talk about these slow starts. What is causing these slow starts, and what do you see that can be fixed?
I don't know what's causing them because they go in the locker room at halftime and they come out in their new football team.
Yeah, they look great coming out.
Now, I don't know if you're waiting until halftime to make your adjustments. I came up with team coaches that made adjustments from the beginning drive, and you start making sure you adjust things. If you see something that's not working that you practice all week, now you adjust it. Coach Gibbs would have adjustments in practice saying, they're going to change this, and then we're going to do this. And I'm like, well, damn, he's that far ahead? I don't know, man. Something is wrong. The message is not getting there, because if you keep starting like this every week, something that's going on is not right.
And I will say, like, for a youngish football team, there's there's a bunch of rookies, B-Rob, Jahan, obviously second-year players. You got a young quarterback starting. Sam Cosby's a young player. This is a tough game because all of your routine that you've established, kind of week-to-week scheduling, the 7-day schedule, is thrown off completely. So all the normal body recovery, all the normal prep you're doing is not there. So when I played, this game was always really tough mentally to kind of get right for because you didn't get to do all of your normal stuff in getting ready. And so when you see, to me, in a game like tonight where you see a slow start, especially in the first half, guys, I don't think they're ready for kind of the short turnaround of the week. And that's really challenging for a coach to kind of get that going because I feel like that's got to come from in here, B. That's got to be like a little bit of a self-starter, And so I think coming out of the halftime, Ron doing the interview, he's a little out of breath. I can tell he's been yelling. He probably was getting after those guys a little bit, So I think there is an understanding by Ron, but also you got a young football team at some really key spots, and they're still developing what it means to be a professional football player in these unusual kind of weak structures, I believe. So it's not an excuse, but I do think it might explain this specific slow start.
But Chicago is a young team too.
I mean, but
they're a young team.
Just by comparison, though, look at how they came out versus Philadelphia. Was there any doubt that they were ready to go? This team,
they were.
And then I'm saying, what's the difference between this game, right? It's a shorter week, and I think the opponent also. It's one of those ones, B, where it's like you kind of sleep on the opponent a little bit.
That's where you got to grow up. The Philadelphia Eagles, top-notch team in your division,
and you're ready to go.
You're ready to play them.
Yeah.
If this team wants to be great, they got to get up to play for the bad teams.
Absolutely.
Like I hate comparing me because I think I'm a different breed.
Oh, yeah, you are a different breed, baby. Different breed.
Because
Amen.
I don't care who I'm playing against.
No.
I do not want to leave the football field thinking that you kick my tail.
Do not come out and slow them down. You know, it's something we got to take a long look at and kind of understand why, more so than anything else. I mean, we're going to watch the tape. We'll look at what we need to do better. You know, it starts at the top. I mean, you know, we've got to be better, and that's on me. You know, and then we got to make sure we're putting in a position to be successful.
Defense keeps having these breakdowns. The last several games, how do you go about fixing that group?
Well, you know, we got to look at the rotation of players, look at what we do, and make sure, like as I said, we're putting them in position to be successful.
The explosive plays continue to happen. Is that a secondary thing? Is that a not generating pressure thing? But what's going on there?
Well, I think some of it is just missed opportunities. Sometimes it's not about going after the ball as much as it's securing the tackle. I mean, these are all things that we're going to look at and talk about, and we have a little time to do that now.
It's the fourth week that you guys have allowed at least 30 points on defense. What changes can you make?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about those things until we get an opportunity to break the tape down, go through the tape, sit down, talk as staff, and then go from there.
Is there any part of you that's just kind of dumbfounded by the defense and kind of what has happened over the last few weeks with this group?
Well, you know, there's reasons why things happen, and you look at those things, and those are things that, you know, we have to correct.
And Sam Howell, just generally, how do you think he played?
I thought he had his moments, you know, and it was unfortunate we didn't get anything going early on in the first quarter. It's kind of tough to get into a rhythm for him, and you know, then we got a nice little rhythm going, and you know, we didn't sustain it. You know, we turned the ball over. You turn the ball over twice. That's a tough thing.
Ron, I know this is the NFL and everybody's capable, but it's one thing. You know, the Eagles are prolific offense. Yep. Bills are prolific offense. Yep. The Bears have not been a prolific offense.
No, but that quarterback's been very solid.
Okay.
The quarterback had a very good week last week. He showed what he was capable of. He's shown it before. He did the same thing to us last year. Gave us fits. It's a heck of a young football player, you know. And again, sometimes he'd get hot, make some plays. He threw to probably one of the really good receivers in this league, and DJ Moore, somebody I'm very familiar with. And they had a solid running game. You know, and when you have that kind of rhythm going, it's tough. It really is. And you're right. This is the NFL. Everybody's capable, and that's exactly what happened today.
Do you think your guys were, I don't know what the word is, you know, did they think, to get off to a start like that, I mean, they didn't punt the first half. I mean,
that was disappointing. You know, as I said, it's something we got to take a long look at and start with ourselves.
Ron, with Terry, didn't have a ton of targets and seemed like he maybe was in and out of the lineup a little bit. How was there any issue with him?
No,
or just...
There was no issue with Terry, and again, you know, a lot of it goes through the progression of what the routes are.
I guess from the slow start perspective, this is kind of every game except for last one. You guys have had that. This is always a big confusion in the league in general. Why does slow starts seem to keep happening? Other than just saying it falls on you and everybody, what can you say about coming out that way?
Well, we had a couple of third down situations early on that we didn't stop them, and it kept the drives alive.
With Emmanuel, looks like you guys benched him. What was kind of the thought process
Well,
behind that?
thought process was he was struggling, and you know, we're hoping that he would bounce back from last week, and you know, we just felt at that point it was time to make a move.
And after Buffalo, you said that you really wanted to see how the team responded. Does a game like this kind of wipe out any of the progress that you guys made last week?
No, it doesn't, because they came out in the second half and they still fought and they still played all the way on up until, unfortunately, when we missed the field goal.
Take three more. Okay. Rob, what do you say to the team after a game like that in the locker room?
Well, I can't repeat exactly what I said, but for the most part, it's just that's not good enough. You know, it's not good enough. It starts with me, and we're going to go back and look at a lot of things, and we're going to get some things corrected, and we'll go out and we'll play football.
Ron,
having a little extra time here with the Thursday night, does that give you a chance to maybe look at more wholesale differences than you would if it was a regular week?
To a degree, yes. You know, but again, we've got to go through this, and we'll take our time and we'll really look at it.
Jerry, last one. When you say it starts with me, you got 10 days. Do you evaluate yourself?
Absolutely. We evaluate everything.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll have Howell at the podium, locker room's open.
Good to hear from Coach. We will also hear from Sam Howell later in the show, but we are going to go to break right now. This is Command Center Post-Game Live. Brian Copeland Jr. here with Brian Mitchell and Logan Paulson. We will see you guys back after the break.
Have fun, sis.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
The final stone of the championship. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Well, Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Are you watching this?
Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Go beyond the expected with the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
One! Back!
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're ready for the holidays, so you're ready for what's next.
Dad, we're gonna be late.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
Welcome back, Commanders fans. It's Command Center Post-Game Live, and it's time for the Fast Play of the Game presented by the Maryland Lottery. Fast Play games. Play fast, win fast today, and please play responsibly. We got 2 plays for you guys. My guy Curtis Samuel showed out, had a big game, and then also got a big touchdown grab, man, that we really needed to see tonight. And great plays by Curtis. And let's talk about our quarterback. Let's talk about Sam Howell. There's a lot of bad. However, Sam Howell threw his most passing yards of his career. Let's talk about him a little bit, B-Mitch.
Completed 37 of 51 passes, 388 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yep.
That is great by any standards, okay? Especially when you're kind of running for your life and you have to maneuver a lot. Listen, I'll say this. I had an analytics guy on my show today, and he talked to me a little bit about they do something that said who gets to blame, quarterbacks or linemen. And they find out that if you look at a quarterback and he leaves the team and goes to another, those sack things will follow the quarterback. So it's normally what the quarterback does. Well, Sam has gotten better. But he's still running for his life in certain situations. But I'll tell you one thing. Coach Gibbs used to have an award called the Leather Balls Award. I won it a few times. Sam Howell deserves one. The guy he gets hit, he gets up, he's always focused on the next play. He is absolutely tough as they come. We got something in that kid right there. Okay? And I hope he doesn't get beat the hell up so much to where it messes him up. But Sam Howell is special. And Curtis Samuel today, and you look at Logan Thomas, those guys came out and were supporting a lot of him. Logan ended up with, I think, 8 receptions. Curtis about 6 or 7, something like that. Curtis came here the first year, and we were questioning what did they do. But we see why they brought him here. You know, people look at a lot of things that Ron has done, but I would say since the first year, Curtis Samuel has proven he was worth everything that they gave him.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think Sam Howell, like, he's a dog, man. He's got that competitive, and there's something like people say, what makes a good quarterback? And it's really hard to explain. It's really hard to quantify. I want a dude who's competitive, who's tough, who elevates the people around him, and I think you see that from Sam. Obviously, there's the relationship between the offensive line, like you alluded to. I think that's 100% accurate. Like, he's going to get better as he goes. He's improved each week with that. But some of the throws, man, we're standing back here watching the game on the field. Some of the throws are tight windows. He's layering them. He really did a great job. And in a situation that wasn't necessarily the most advantageous for him or for the offensive line, for him to get out there and compete like that for 60 minutes, I think that, again, it's hard to say what makes a special quarterback, but that competitive edge, that fire,
you have to have that.
It's something. I think it's something there, and I think it's something that we can be excited about. And you mentioned the skill position players, like, they're outstanding. I thought obviously, like in a game like this where the game flow is so distorted because of the score, because of the early scores by Chicago, it was just great to see them fight. And then, you always talk about like that competitiveness, that toughness, the things that made you great, and it's good to see that from this team because offensively we haven't seen it for a couple of years. So it's really nice to see that at any capacity, at any point of the game. Obviously the first half wasn't great, but for them to come out and say, hey, we're not going to be happy with that and get it corrected, I thought, again, not perfect, but if you're looking for a bright spot, I'd say that offensive kind of competitiveness was really special.
Especially from Sam Howell, right? I mean, Sam Howell's such a gamer. He's so confident. And if you're just now tuning in, we will be taking the Sam Howell presser as soon as he comes up. Even if I got to interrupt these guys, I will. We are going to get you your quarterback. And let's talk a little more about Sam Howell, okay? We talk about him needing a little more help. He got sacked a lot towards the end of the game. How do we keep him clean? We've talked about this all season, it feels like. How are we going to keep Sam clean?
Well, think about it. Sam is going to get the ball in his hand, which he's done in the last 2 weeks. He gets the ball in his hand. And right now, what I'm saying, offensive line got to hold up just a little bit more.
We're going to break.
Well, Logan, you want to finish that take real quick before we go to break? We're going to go to break. We want to see what you guys say.
No, just that. We'll pick that up when we get back. What do you say?
Okay, we'll pick it up when we get back. We're going to go to break. Remember, when we get back, we will be taking the Sam Howell presser. You will be hearing from your quarterback. We have a lot more to get into. Commanders Postgame Live, Barcole Jr., Brian Mitchell, Logan Paulson. We'll be back.
You're going to like this story because it's about you. You who forgot to charge your phone last night. You who sprints to the boarding line so your bag will fit. You with him. Until one day you boarded a United plane that was designed for, well, you. And your phone got charged, your bag fit, so did everyone else's, but this story isn't about them. Your toddler didn't tantrum, and you got to fly happily ever after. The end.
Hey, it's me, food. I'm so much more than just what we eat. I'm hand-cut, fresh and frosted. Aw, I love you too. See, life is always something new. All messy, frantic, and amazing. And from where I sit, you look delicious. That's why every day is worth celebrating. If you can. Stay fresh. Sincerely, food. Sincerely, Safeway.
Right now on FanDuel, we're giving you more ways to cherish the NFL season. When new customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. And you can withdraw your winnings instantly. So get all your high fives in now before football Sundays become Sundays again.
Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Play the Maryland Lottery. Because fun looks good on you. Right now, play our new $10,000 cash and $100,000 cash scratch-offs. They have big top prizes for big fun.
What you looking for? My financial wellness. Bro, stop searching. Go Northwest. I went to Northwest Federal Credit Union, even better than a bank. I'm actually really building my savings now. Savings? How much? We're not gonna find it in there. Try here. Bro, stop searching. Go Northwest.
Experience the performance of Toyota Camry, from TRD to all-wheel drive and hybrid. with comfort and control. To travel your way and arrive in style. Right now, buy a Camry and get $750 finance cash. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome into Command Center Game Day Post-Game Live. It is time for your Never Ordinary play presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Now, this play right here is to our running back Antonio Gibson, who got a 41-yard gain with this catch. Great to see Antonio Gibson getting out there and getting some catches. Yeah. Welcome back into Command Center Post-Game Live. Brian Cope Jr. here with Brian Mitchell, Logan Paulson.
Yeah.
Guys, rough night. However, we're still here to talk about it. We're going to still break it down.
We're going to get through this thing.
We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. Now, let's talk about the run game a little bit, because there's been a lot of conversations about why we strayed away so far from the run game. And if you're watching this game, you understand why we stopped running the ball. B-Mitch, kick it to him. Why do we have to go away from the run game?
People that ask that question, in every game, in every situation, they don't understand football. You are down very early in this game.
Yeah.
And listen, to be honest with you, if a team goes down and scores a touchdown, the next team, I don't care what level of offense coordinator they have, they're going to start putting the ball there because they're trying to catch up. Field goals, they keep running.
Yeah.
Touchdowns, they're trying to catch back up. Then you're down like 17 points. You're not going to be running the football anymore, people. I am sick and tired of the people that want to say, well, why we don't run the ball? We're down by 20. You don't run the ball when you're down by 20. You're going to try to go out there and catch up. If you keep running the ball, guess what the other team is doing? Because they're going to run the timeout.
Yeah.
You won't have enough time to catch up with me. So they were trying to throw it. And guess what? They were having success throwing the football.
Yeah.
They were doing it. It was 37 of 51 for 388 yards. They did a great job.
And the majority of that comes in the second half.
Yep. Exactly.
They had I think 10 plays, 15 plays in the first half, so it's going to be hard to run the football.
If you're going to argue, know what you're arguing about.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I love the fans, but you know what? Some of y'all, you're not experts. Stop trying to act like it. Some of you listen to people sometimes, but don't give me the crap about why we not running. If you're down by 20, you don't run the football. Okay? The little cards, you see what I'm saying? Probably the Bible said, once you're down by 20, throw the damn ball. Let's be real about it.
Logan, anything to add to that?
No, I think that's 100% right. Like just understanding the game flow, right? Understanding the situation. Obviously, like not a lot of offensive plays in the first half, and you're down by 3 scores.
Yes.
So what are you going to do when you come out? You got to make up a lot of scores in a very short amount of time. And the best way to do that, the most efficient way to do that, is throw the football. And no one says it better than our guy, B. Mitch.
You saw the one that Sam threw up. Got a pass interference.
Yeah.
In the NFL today, put the ball in the air.
Yep.
You can get a pass interference at any time. That's what you got to do sometimes. But don't tell me run the ball when you're down by 2 and 3 scores.
Yeah.
That would automatically tell me you know nothing about football.
And does that stress the O-line and does that stress Sam Howell? Yes. But you're also trying to win the football game.
Yep.
True.
And it's a very tenable situation at that point, right? 3 scores for a half is not that many points to score, right? Especially if the defense stands up. And it looked for a minute there, especially in the third quarter, like there was a momentum shift. The defense made a couple stops, 3 and outs. Offense was able to respond. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But you can't even sniff that if you're not being efficient with the time. True. And you got to be, and to throw the football, you got to be efficient with the time.
100%. And if you guys are just now joining us, we will be going to Sam Howell's pressers. As soon as he gets to the podium, we will send it right there. Even if I got to interrupt my guys here, we will go right to Sam Howell because we know you're waiting to hear from your quarterback. You know, we talk about us struggling to run the ball. Yeah. One team that didn't struggle to run the ball.
Oh, no.
Chicago. They had 170-plus rushing yards total. What did you see from our rushing defense today, B-Mitch? You talked a lot about it during the break. Let's hear from you, man.
What I saw was...
You're trying to keep this man semi-positive over here. And you just gave him like
he's our anger translator.
You're like, hey, let me just give you this bat. Here's this thing. Let me just bow.
I'll tell you what I saw.
All right.
I saw Deron Payne on the left side. I saw Jonathan Allen on the right side.
Yep. Preach.
I saw Deron Payne go right. Jonathan go right, Deron go left, and I did not see a linebacker field. And I saw the running back come through the hole untouched.
Yeah.
Till he was like 10 yards down the field.
Yep.
The next play, I saw something very similar to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I watch a lot. I've watched this football team for the last 4 years. I probably could count on both hands how many times we blitzed.
Yeah. And
I'm watching 4-man pass rush on running downs, and we're already outside the guards, which is my hole about that big.
Yeah.
And then we go away.
Yeah, I think.
So I don't know how on why they go to make a hole. That scheme in my book.
Yeah.
Where's the linebacker to fill that spot? If they going out, somebody got to be filling the spot.
Again, to kind of
I don't see
supplement your point, I think both of them happened on 3rd and 7. And they came out not with draws necessarily, but they're running duos. They're running double teams. And so I think guys are thinking 3rd and 7's a pass rushing down. Let's get after the quarterback. And I think obviously the Chicago Bears were able to take advantage of that in those situations. And when you're able to convert 3rd and 7 running the football, that's about as easy as it gets for an offensive coordinator. They did a great job with the quarterback sneak game tonight. Chicago did, stealing first downs on 4th and short, 3rd and short. I mean, they deserve a ton of credit for their game plan, but I mean, we talked about this already. I don't know if it's fatigue, I don't know if it's approach, I don't know if it's philosophy, but that defensive line and that defense as a whole just didn't look ready to start the game tonight, and it was evident on plays like that. You can't run duo from the gun on 3rd and 7 for a first down in the NFL usually. And so to see that happen twice in a game, I think is very, very frustrating. And I think those guys are aware of that, and I think they'll get it corrected hopefully.
And Logan, you mentioned being positive. Not a lot of positives tonight.
Yes.
However, your guy Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
Another big game for him. 9 catches, a touchdown, 77 yards. We talked pregame about how important he is, even outside the stat sheet, and what he does for this team. Talk a little bit about Logan Thomas, what you've seen from him today.
Yeah, I mean, I think tonight, Matt Eberflus, they run this defense, this conservative cover 2, this conservative cover 3 where they're dropping out, and I think it took Sam a minute to kind of get a beat on it, but when he did, he turned to Logan Thomas, the guy that's going to be underneath, finding those soft spots for you, and turning those 5-yard catches into first downs or second and manageable. And obviously, it's great to see him get that kind of volume in this offense and be kind of the extension of the run game with those short intermediate passes. Ton of credit to him, especially after a rough first game against Arizona. There was a lot of criticism levied to him, and I feel like each and every week he's come up with a big play for this offense. Last week against Philly, it's that huge post play. So ton of credit to him, kind of once he's gotten healthy. The touchdown against the Broncos was fantastic. So a guy that's gotten better each and every week. Obviously, the fumble tonight when he's fighting for extra yards, that's tough, man. It's tough to be critical of a guy in that situation because he's fighting, he's clawing, he's scratching. But you got to protect the football. But again, very productive night for him.
Even in that play, I'll give him an excuse. I'll say this.
Yep.
This league claims that they're trying to protect players.
Yeah.
I have seen him blowing the whistle in that same situation. He's fighting. They don't blow, and then he turns up and the ball comes out.
Right.
Most times they blow the whistle there.
Yep.
Your forward momentum is stopped. They didn't do that. And I don't knock him for trying that.
No. It's because it's an effort thing, right?
Big body. But a big body, and you have a quarterback, when you're looking for somebody to go to, it's kind of hard to miss him.
Yeah. And then that 3rd and 13 in the second half where he's diving forward between defenders for the first down. Like that's
from a quarterback.
Yeah.
They got that.
They got that dog in him. And again, so just looking at that, I just say, man, that's a guy that's important to him.
Yeah.
He's getting better each and every week, and we saw what he was doing in training camp, and it's nice for the fans to finally see the productive player that he can be. So, in terms of bright spots, definitely Logan Thomas would be one of them.
And Commanders family, we are awaiting your quarterback, Sam Howell. We are going to take his presser as soon as he gets there. And talking Sam Howell, we talked a lot about the way he moves his ball, the way he gets everybody involved. 11 different receivers tonight. Now we know, listen, we're going to have to move past this. We're going to Atlanta. We're going to take on the Falcons.
Talk about having to stop the run and be physical there.
Oh, my goodness. Right.
Because Bijan is better than any running back they had in
Dude,
Chicago.
how good is Bijan?
Bijan is excellent.
And
Bijan is so damn good the NFL going to start paying running backs again. Bijan has the ability to be exactly like McCaffrey.
McCaffrey. Yep.
Absolutely.
Those guys are going to make the league say, you know what, we made a mistake. You got to pay running backs again.
Certain type of running backs, right? Those elite special guys.
Guys that can do special things.
For sure. And headed to Atlanta, we talk about the way Sam Howell's moving the ball.
Yeah.
Logan, what are you seeing from your quarterback? Is that a positive? I mean, you played in those situations where you have your different quarterbacks. Do you like seeing a guy that's moving it to everybody and just getting people involved?
Absolutely. I think one of the things, I've been a part of offenses, with Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, where it actually hindered the offense sometimes because they're trying to force the ball to their security blanket. They're trying to take care of this one kind of superstar talent. But when you don't have guys clamoring for the ball in that way, it allows you to kind of throw it to the open guy. Picture Beck's matchups. And think about this offense, man. We've got so many guys who can have elite matchups, You mentioned Logan Thomas, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis, man. We talked about his game. How about Gibson? We talked about his catch there in that game, getting a one-on-one matchup with the linebacker. Perfect ball by Sam Howell. You can exploit weapons when you're not focused on one player. So I think, ultimately, I think when Sam looks at this film, I think, that first half, that interception, that was a little bit of a dagger because that leads to 3 points for the Bears. But overall, the competitiveness, ball distribution, the confidence, the stick-to-itiveness in the pocket, very, very positive. And again, it's hard to say he's going to be something truly special, but he's showing all of kind of those foundational pieces that hopefully become something more.
But you got 11 guys catching the ball. Earlier this year was 9 or 10, I think it was. As you go and as you get better as a team and you end up in the later months of the year, a team can't say, let's stop him.
Right, yes.
8 other guys caught the ball.
Yeah.
But when you have a guy who catches it all the time, like if I'm a D coordinator, DJ Moore would have caught 2 or 3, and then he ain't catching them more. I'm going to double him, make sure he don't catch it. And there are a lot of teams out there who throw 13, 14 balls per game to a certain receiver. As a defense, you have to stop those people. You got to take them out of the game. And I believe when you go to one guy all the time, the other guys get a little lazy.
Yeah, no.
But if you can hit 11,
oh my gosh,
everybody understand they got to always be ready because the ball may come to me.
Yep.
And as you get later in the season, you get better as an overall football team. Now it's hard as hell for a defense to stop.
100%, which is exciting. Again, it's a new offense, new scheme. It's building. Everyone's learning. And so to see this kind of success at early points in the year, and is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But is it getting better each and every week? I think so, and I think there's a lot of things to be optimistic about. And I'm not just saying that, like to be optimistic. I think there's really positive things from the quarterback, from the skill position guys that say, if this thing comes together, if the defense clicks with the offense, this could be a very special
I'm
game.
optimistic, but I'm damn sure frustrated.
No, I think we all are. I love
people
you.
Got to realize I live with my feelings on my sleeve.
Yeah.
I can't lie about a lot, and I'm going to just tell you straight up. We got to get better at all aspects of this game. I can't constantly talk about the younger guys who are getting better. I got veteran players who are not playing well.
I think that's a great way to put it.
That's a problem to me. Okay? And guys like to always say, well, you act like the old man. Yes, I am an old man. But ask anybody I played with, I will fight you in the locker room if you don't give me everything you got. And I will fight you if you don't get it right here. We got to get this thing done. Look, we have too much talent to go out there and make an ordinary team make us look ordinary. I don't like that.
I think that's a great way to word that. It's you're excited, you're optimistic, but there is a frustration. Like this Bears team is, they're not very good. You know what I mean? The roster's not very good. I think Fields is playing better. That offense has got an identity. But I still think I look at, again, their first-round draft talent, all these pieces that they've accumulated, and for them not to perform to the expectation is obviously, it's frustrating. But there are reasons to be optimistic, I think. And I think that's a tough feeling to negotiate right after the game.
Yeah, for sure. And guys, we're in a tough position because after any game, we have to come here and talk. So I appreciate you guys' candidness. I appreciate you guys' honestness because, we all care. We all want to see wins. And we're going to go to break. But before we go to break, I want to shout out Command Center. Command Center is our show. Logan Paulson, me, Fred Smoot, Santana Moss. We will be here every Thursday. You can catch us on YouTube for Command Center. That's my baby. We have so much fun on there. We cover all things Commanders, and we're looking forward. So this Thursday, we'll be talking about the Falcons. So we will be back with Sam Howell's presser. We are still awaiting his presser, and we have a lot more to get into, a lot more to break down. Brian Coble Jr., Brian Mitchell, Logan Paulson. We'll be back with more.
Hey, grab me one, too.
What are you doing?
Searching.
For what?
My financial wellness.
Stop searching. Go Northwest. I went to Northwest Federal Credit Union, even better than a bank. And they hooked me up with totally free financial counseling to help me manage my money.
Totally free?
Totally free.
I feel my financial wellness running through me already.
Whatever works. Stop searching. Go Northwest.
Toyota Tacoma. The off-road legend. Built for adventure and designed for longevity. Equipped for any terrain with the guts to be unstoppable. Right now, buy a Tacoma with 3.99 APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Go beyond the expected with the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
One bag.
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're ready for the holidays, so you're ready for what's next.
Welcome back, Commanders family, into Command Center post-game live. It is time for the Toast of the Town presented by B. Mitch.
Lost your man, Durant.
Champagne and Bradson Cognac, the official champagne and cognac of the Washington Commanders. Now, this play is Jonathan Allen getting his 36.5 sack. That makes him the all-time Commanders leader in sacks for a defensive tackle. Logan, you talk about the positivity. We don't have a lot of it, but you know what? Seeing a guy like that make it into the history books, what a great thing to see, especially a guy that works as hard as Jonathan.
Yeah, he works as hard as Jonathan does, and he's homegrown, man. He was drafted here. He's from here. He went to Stonebridge High School, which is 10 minutes from the facility out in Ashburn, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's a guy from the area. He's a great football player, and you love a guy that does it the right way, you know. And you always talk about the mindset, the physicality, the toughness, and I think he embodies all of that. Obviously, in addition to those intangibles, the physical skill set, the pass rush ability, the nuance he brings is really, really special. So very deserving, very exciting for him to get that record, and you know he's in the history books now, so that's awesome.
Congrats.
That's really awesome, man. It's a good thing to see. And Logan, man, you actually showed us something that is worth, I think, mentioning, man. I'm gonna let you take it away.
Yeah, from our guy Kyle. So in this game, B, and I don't know how you feel about this, 55 consecutive dropbacks without a designed run, which is a record going back to 2006 when PFF started keeping a metric for that record, for that thing. How do you feel about that?
The fact that if I go back and look at the stats, I don't think we were averaging much. And we were down double digits.
But I think it's a game flow thing.
Right. It's game flow, and I think that's the problem. Like, analytics and stats, I get mad at them sometimes because they don't tell you what the flow of the game was.
The detail, like
what the moment of the
minutia
game
was.
was.
Right.
If you're down by double digits.
Guys, real quick, so I don't mean to cut you.
Yeah, it's tough. Definitely felt like it was a game that we were capable of winning. And just didn't come off to a good start, and kind of put ourselves in a hole there in the first half, and tried to fight our way back in the second half, but we came up short. And I think everyone just needs to look in the mirror, and I think everyone came out of the game knowing that they can do something better. And I think as long as we make the improvements we need to make, we'll be fine. Obviously it's still early in the season. Obviously we'd like to have a better record than we have, but we still have 12 games left, and we still have a lot of time to prove who we really are as a team. And I know one thing about this team is tonight won't define who we are as a football team, and we'll be better moving forward.
You've been playing football your whole life. Slow starts happen, but somehow it's always inexplicable as to why they keep happening. How do you kind of put your finger on what was going wrong in the first half on both sides of the ball, but on offense for you with the slow start tonight?
Yeah, we just got to do a better job of executing, starting the game, and I think we've done a good job, kind of throughout the season on those first few drives. Obviously, sometimes it haven't resulted in points, but I think we've had a good plan. We've prepared well throughout the week. It's just a matter of coming out and executing. And they didn't do anything that was different than what we thought they would do. It's just a matter of us going out there and doing what we're supposed to do and doing our jobs at a high level. And early on in the game, we didn't do that and kind of put ourselves in a hole. But we'll be better from it.
Does a game like tonight kind of dampen or erase the progress that you guys made last week?
I don't think so. Obviously, it hurts right now. But I think the main thing is that everyone in that locker room knows what we're capable of doing. And I think, at times throughout the game tonight, you saw that. We just got to do a better job of being more consistent. But we're not panicking. We know the team that we can be. It's just a matter of continuing to pull together, continuing to get better, and we'll be all right.
Obviously, as everybody says, the Bears get paid too. They're an NFL team, but considering what you guys want to accomplish, and you're at home, and they're 0-4, does it feel like this was like we got to get out on top of them early? And is that disappointing, just from at least that perspective, that you guys kind of didn't come out that way?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think there was a lot of things about the game that were disappointing. We felt like we were the better football team, and we didn't play that way tonight. And that's what I've learned so far in the NFL is, it's not the better team who wins the game. It's the team that plays the best that night. And tonight the Bears outplayed us, and credit to those guys. But obviously we got to be better. We can't let things like that happen. And like I said, we'll be better moving forward.
Sam, you're starting to stack the good performances, but at the same time you're taking a lot of hits. How are you feeling, and how do you think you can maintain this pace?
Yeah, I feel all right. Body feels good. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to go out there and try to do whatever it takes to win. There were some times where I was trying to get the first down on third down, and, I wouldn't take any of those plays back. Obviously, I think I'd like to be in a position where we have more control of the game and I can do a better job kind of protecting myself. But, when we're down and our back's against the wall, I'm going to do whatever it takes. That's just kind of how I've always been, and, I don't really worry about getting hurt or anything like that. I just try to do whatever I can.
Last week you guys got the hot start in Philly. This week it just wasn't there. What was different offensively?
Yeah, I mean, every game is different. And, maybe it's just one play that sets you back. And, I thought, we did the first drive, we had a 3rd and 1, couldn't convert 3rd and 1. And just, we did some good things, but just didn't execute when it mattered most. But, yeah, I mean, every game is a different game, and you got to come out ready to go and focused and prepared. And I feel like we were focused, we're prepared, we just didn't execute.
Anything else? All right, thanks.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Sam.
Great to hear from our quarterback, Sam Howell, always poised in victory and defeat. It is time for our post-game delivery presented by Pisano's. Since your commander scored 2 touchdowns today, make sure you visit your local Pisano's tomorrow, where you'll receive 2 free toppings all day long. And fellas, I don't know about y'all, but I need this comfort food.
What do we got
right
man?
now?
That's
and it's looking good.
It's
smelling
warm.
good.
Warm, right?
Beavis, I'm gonna let you hold that.
I'm
If not, I'm gonna
You
eat it.
eat the pizza, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm eating pizza this tonight.
Listen,
this
it looks
looks good,
good,
man.
I
Yeah,
think we
let's-
all need a slice
How
tonight,
many
right?
get
Even
How
our people
much time-
behind us,
how much
right?
time we have left?
I don't know how
toppings?
much time we got. We got enough time to hear a little more from you guys, right?
All right.
Now,
2 toppings.
as you drool over this pizza, 2 free toppings, like Logan said. We haven't hit the secondary, right? And we talked about them a lot in the pregame, so I feel like we have to talk about them now. Gave up some big plays. DJ Moore, 230 yards. Another rough week for our secondary. B-Mitch, man, how you feeling?
I'm not feeling real good about it, but I'm still not going to. I'm not going to just cut him off right now because I understand.
Yeah.
Forbes is learning, but you have guys that's been there a while.
Yeah.
What happened today, our safeties and our corners got cooked.
Yeah.
And they have to play better than that. And it's attention to detail.
Yeah.
Listen, when I played ball, I was a guy that liked to go out, I liked to party, have fun with my friends and all that type of stuff. But when I made a mistake, I sacrificed all of that. I didn't go to none of that. I stayed in my house and I did what the hell I needed to do. And when I started to play consistent, I went back to it. I don't know if this defense or whoever did the things they were supposed to do as intense as they should have done this week. But whatever you did wasn't good enough what I saw on the football field. So right now, I think everybody has to go and face themselves. Start with the man in the mirror. Look at yourself and ask yourself a question. Am I giving enough to be my absolute best? Because I never cared about what the other guys were doing. Because I know they was depending on me, so I wanted to be my absolute best. And if everybody go with that mindset, this team can become better.
Yeah.
But I never played video games. I know guys like to play video games. To hell with the video game until you're done playing football.
Yeah.
And if you're playing football at such a high level to where every week somebody's talking positive about you, go back and play it. But if you're not, to hell with playing Madden. It ain't good and it ain't for you. You got to go out there and make sure your play on the field is good enough to where the man that's paying you want to pay you more, and the people that talk about you want to praise you all the time. If that's not happening, then you're wasting your time on the other stuff.
Yeah, I think when you look at the down-to-down consistency of the secondary, 8 catches, 230 yards.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you come out of that saying that there's a lot of positives. I think What the one positive I would take away is guys seem to be, for the most part, in good phase. Like there's one where Forbes is trying to knock the ball down. I'd probably say, hey, young buck, live to fight another day, just make that tackle there, right? Fuller at the end of the game, trying to knock the ball down, 3rd and set 2, 4 minutes left in the game, try to get the ball back to the offense. I don't know how you feel about that, B, but again, I could see a world where that's the right play, right? St. Juice has got inside leverage, matching the dig. It's a double move, great route by Moore, ends up being an explosive play. So was the coverage supporting them? Were they playing the correct technique? Like you said, B, those are all things that need to be evaluated. I think we've got the right kind of guys in the room. You know, I was really impressed with those guys this offseason, right? Fuller specifically. St. Juice had an excellent offseason. I think you see their ability. You know, St. Juice has a pass breakup in the end zone that prevents a touchdown. It's just, you know, like you said, that number, that stat line is not acceptable, really. And I think finding a way to kind of improve that, and that's individually, that's from the schematic point, it's a whole team thing. It's the rush matching with the coverage. All those things play into that position, and it's one of the hardest positions in sports, maybe the hardest position in sports. But I think those guys understand that when they took the job, and I think going into Atlanta is an opportunity for them to get right, and hopefully they do. Right,
and it'll be a tough game for our second, tough week for our secondary, right? And like you said, we got to turn the page. We're headed to Atlanta. We have back-to-back road games. You guys have been in this position before. How do you shake this off, and how do you get some wins on the road? B-Mitch, I'm going to start with you.
Well, you shake it off by going and you look at the film. You have to face the music. Look at the film and be honest with yourself. Because everybody always think, well, I did my job. No, you didn't.
It's true,
so
man.
So when you're honest with yourself, then you can go out there and you can say, I need to correct this, and this. And if you're honest with yourself, then you can start to now talk to your friends about how they can do better and y'all work together. Because on the road, hell, this team is better on the road. No, they don't play as good at home. I don't understand it, but ultimately, once you get out there and you play on the football field, I always say this. Once you get on the grass, we're all in the same situation. I don't care if your crowd, my job was to make your crowd shut up. When an opposing team come in, if we're performing and making plays and you aren't, your crowd's gonna shut up. So it's just like being in my home, right? That's what you gotta do. And I always go with the Spike Lee effect. If you can shut up Spike Lee, guess what? You can perform.
Great analogy.
Yeah, and I think I would say that, you know, like with regards to this film, like it's only it's a bad loss if you don't learn from it. And that's something that I always think about. You know, you have bad losses, bad individual losses, all this stuff that's not great, but it's compounded if I don't say this is how I can get better from it. And hopefully this group can. You know, obviously you're going into Atlanta. You got a little bye week, kind of totally refresh, recharge, get the body right, get the mind right. Going to Atlanta, an offense that doesn't throw the football very well, that seems like a get-right game for the secondary.
Don't say that.
I know.
This one didn't do it very well today.
But, you know, yes, you're right. I shouldn't say that, B. That's my youth showing up there. So, but I agree. I think that if it's only a loss if you don't learn anything from it. For sure. I think these guys are all the types of guys that will learn from it. So. And we're closing out the show, about to be done. Final thoughts, guys. B-Mitch, I'll go with you first.
Final thoughts is that, you know what? You're 2-3 right now. This is not the end of the world. You would want to be in a better situation, and should be, based off of what I've seen in the games. But I'll say they have to come out now and go and forget about what was, and just find out what you did wrong, and correct those things, and going forward, don't do it again. I believe this team can be very, very good, but they have to believe it. And the way you believe that is by putting in the extra work. And once you get on the football field, you take care of your brother, they take care of you, you win games. But the individual play, cut it out right now. It ain't going to work for you.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's like you finish the first quarter of the season. You know, it's not true quarters anymore because of the new schedule. But now what are you going to do in the second quarter, right? And can you win the second quarter, and can that lead to a positive third quarter of the season? And that's going to start in a couple weeks against Atlanta. So can you learn from this first half? What did we do well? What can we do differently? We've got a little bit of bye week here. Can we do a little self-scout as a coaching staff? Say, hey, man, we should do this more, and we should do this less. It speaks to our guys' skill set in these ways. So I think that's something, you know, the fans were out here hollering earlier about pressure more. Maybe Jack says this is the time. Hey, maybe we can throw more pressure in. Maybe I like this blitz. Whatever it is, this is the time that gets done, and then we kind of launch ourselves into the second quarter. If we come out 3-1, I think that'd be outstanding, and I think this whole thing looks drastically different.
Yes.
Well, fellas, I always enjoy spending this time with you guys. Not the result we wanted, Commanders fan, but we appreciate you sticking with us. Again, we are headed to Atlanta next. A lot of football left. It's only week 5. There's a lot more football left. A lot of reasons to still be excited about this team. Brian Copeland Jr. here with Super Bowl champion Brian Mitchell, legend Logan Paulson. This is Command Center Postgame Live. We will be back next time. See you then.